Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is a wild Wednesday, and we have so much to unpack today about our favorite daytime drama. Grab your coffee or whatever you need because things are getting absolutely out of control over at Logan and Forrester Creations. We are diving right into the madness today. And I just can't even believe what I am looking at right now. Honestly, my jaw is still on the floor, so we all know Hope just collapsed. She literally just had a massive panic attack and passed out cold on the floor of the Logan Gallery. And why? Because her mother Brooke just violently confronted her, smashed a monitor, and basically disowned her. Brooke kicked Hope and Liam out of the cabin. The trauma of that just broke Hope physically. Liam found her unconscious. He was frantic. He was begging her to go to the hospital, but instead of giving this poor girl a minute to breathe, instead of letting her recover from a literal physical and emotional breakdown, Bill and Katie decide this is the perfect time to drop a nuclear bomb on her, a legal nuclear bomb. So, Bill Spencer and Katie Logan just walked right up to a shattered Hope and handed her a legal document, a literal contract. But it is not about her designs or her salary or her budget for the next quarter. No, it is a non-contact agreement. They are demanding that Hope sign a legally binding paper swearing she will not communicate with anyone who has the last name Forrester. Anyone. And it gets so much worse. They specifically added a clause for her own mother. They want Hope to legally agree to cut off Brooke Logan, her own flesh and blood. Just think about that for a second. Think about how insane that is. They want to legislate a family estrangement. They want to put her maternal bond in a legal shredder. It is just wild. I have been covering this show for a while, and this is a new low. But let's be real here for a second. Bill Spencer is just being Dollar Bill. We all know this. We expect this kind of toxic behavior from him. He literally stood there and declared that Logan needs absolute loyalty to defeat Eric Forrester. Absolute loyalty. Like he is running some kind of underground mafia family instead of a high-end fashion house. He wants to crush Eric so badly that he is willing to use Hope as a human shield, a weapon. A pawn in his endless billionaire games. He sees Eric's haute couture line as a threat, and he wants to make sure Hope is a totally isolated soldier in his corporate army. It is just so predatory, so gross, and he doesn't even care who gets hurt in the crossfire. He just wants to win. He just wants to see the Forrester name dragged through the mud, and he is using Hope's talent to do it. And he gave her the most brutal ultimatum I think we have ever seen on this daytime soap. Seriously, if Hope refuses to sign this insane legal document, she is out. She will lose her position as creative director immediately. She will be completely exiled from the Spencer empire. No severance package, no second chances, no time to think about it. Just gone. Poof. Everything she just built with Deke Sharp, all the runway success, all the media hype, just ripped away in a single second because Bill demands total obedience. He is basically holding her entire professional life hostage. Do what I say or lose everything you ever worked for. That is the Spencer way, I guess. It is a sick power trip. He knows she is vulnerable right now, and he is exploiting it for his own gain. So Hope is standing there facing this cruel, cruel choice, a totally impossible choice. Does she choose her peak career or her fracturing maternal bond? She is finally at the top of the mountain. Her line is a massive hit. The fashion world is obsessed with Hope by Logan. She finally has the creative control she always begged Steffy for. But the price is her family. Her relationship with Brooke is already hanging by a thread because of the secrets and the lies. Brooke told Hope she can't even look at her the same way anymore, but if Hope signs this paper, that thread is cut. It is legally severed. How do you ever come back from that? You don't. You just don't. It is a permanent bridge burned. and Hope has to weigh her ambition against her own mother's love. It is heartbreaking to watch. But you guys, the thing that is really messing with me is Katie. Katie Logan. What happened to her? She is fully supporting this. She is standing right beside Bill, nodding along, backing him up. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh on Katie because she has a lot on the line, but no, wait, this is actually just awful. She is forcing her niece to legally disown her sister. Katie claims she is doing this to protect the hard-won success of Logan. She says they have to protect themselves from the revenge that Steffy is undoubtedly going to unleash. And she is just completely cold about it. She is acting like a corporate robot. Where is the empathy? Where is the aunt who used to care about her family? She is just gone, replaced by this ruthless CEO who only cares about the bottom line. And yeah, we all know Steffy is going to retaliate. Steffy is furious. She is in extreme damage control mode over at Forrester Creations, and she is plotting something aggressive to destroy the Hope by Logan brand. Katie isn't wrong about that. Steffy is ruthless when she is crossed, but is this the answer? Is a non-contact agreement the way to fight a fashion war? Katie is so blinded by her desire to beat Forrester and prove that her fashion house is superior that she is willing to destroy her own family to do it. The destruction of the Logan sisters is just absolute at this point. Brooke hates Katie. Donna is caught in the middle and losing her marriage to Eric. And now Katie is weaponizing Hope. It is a complete tragedy. Honestly, Liam's reaction is exactly how I feel. Liam is just completely shocked. He is standing there, watching his father be an absolute monster, and he is just boggled by the sheer ruthlessness of it all. Liam knows his dad is cutthroat. He has fought with Bill a million times over his morals and his shady business tactics, but seeing Bill do this to Hope, his wife, the woman who literally just passed out on the floor from a panic attack. It is next-level cruelty, and Liam is just paralyzed by it. He is staring at his dad like he doesn't even recognize him, which is crazy because this is exactly who Bill has always been. But I guess seeing it directed at a broken Hope is just too much for Liam to process. But what is Liam actually going to do? Is he going to punch his dad? Is he going to rip up the contract? Probably not. He is just going to stare with those wide eyes and look conflicted. He has been playing the protective husband, trying to keep Hope calm, offering the Spencer mansion as a refuge after Brooke kicked them out. But now the Spencer empire is the very thing that is threatening to destroy Hope's soul. Liam is caught in the middle, and he looks completely helpless against Bill's steamroller personality. He wants to save her, but he doesn't know how to fight his own family to do it. It is classic Liam. Lots of concern, not a lot of action. But maybe this will be the breaking point for him. Maybe he will finally stand up to Bill. We can only hope. So Hope is just trapped. She is completely trapped. The notes from this week show that she feels suffocated. She feels like she is in a golden cage built by the Spencers. And that is exactly what this is, a golden cage. She left Forrester Creations because she felt stifled by Steffy and Ridge. She thought Katie and Bill were offering her freedom. She thought she was finally going to be the boss of her own destiny. But she just traded one cage for another, and this new cage is so much worse. It looks shiny and beautiful from the outside. The runway shows, the press, the money, but inside, it is a prison. A prison where you aren't even allowed to call your own mother. And this Spencer cage is way tighter. It has legal locks. It has non-contact clauses. It is suffocating her. At Forrester, Steffi might have shelved her designs, and Ridge might have promoted Zende behind her back, but they never asked her to legally disown her mother. They never held her family hostage for a fashion line. Hope is realizing that the autonomy Katie promised her was a complete illusion. She is just a highly paid prisoner in Bill Spencer's war against Eric Forrester. She is a pawn, a very famous, very talented pawn. And the realization of that is what is truly breaking her. She thought she was breaking free, but she just walked right into a trap. Sometimes you just have to zoom out and look at the bigger pattern here. The writers love to put hope in these impossible situations where she has to be the martyr, but this feels different. This doesn't feel like a romantic triangle where she is crying over Liam and Thomas. This is about her career, her identity, and her own blood. This is about corporate greed tearing a family to shreds. Brooke has already declared Katie her #1 enemy. Donna is getting fired, and her marriage to Eric is falling apart because she kept Katie's secret. The show is shifting from romantic drama to hardcore corporate warfare, and the casualties are all family members. It is dark. It is really, really dark. And now this, the final nail in the coffin. If Hope signs that paper, the Logan family, as we know, it is dead. And maybe that is what Bill wants. He wants to isolate them. He wants Katie and Hope to only rely on him. It is classic abuser behavior, isolating the victims from their support systems. Okay, that sounded a bit dramatic, but you get what I mean. It is a toxic power play. Bill wants to be the king, and he doesn't care who he has to step on to get the crown. Even if it is a young woman who is already having a mental breakdown, he is just exploiting her pain, and Katie is letting him do it. It makes me sick to my stomach watching it unfold. Let's talk about Eric Forrester for a second. Bill is doing all of this just to beat Eric. Eric just launched his haute couture line, and Bill is so obsessed with destroying that legacy that he is tearing Hope's life apart. And Eric isn't even innocent in all of this. Eric just threw Donna out of the executive office and basically ended their marriage because she kept Katie's secret. So both sides of this fashion war are just acting like complete tyrants. Eric demands one-sided loyalty from Donna, and Bill demands absolute loyalty from Hope. It is a war of billionaire egos, and the women are the ones paying the price. It is just so frustrating to watch these powerful men manipulate everyone around them. And think about the fans on social media. People are losing their minds over this. Half the timeline is screaming at Katie for being a traitor, and the other half is yelling at Brooke for pushing Hope into Bill's arms in the first place by being so unforgiving. If Brooke hadn't kicked Hope out of the cabin, maybe Hope would have the strength to fight back against Bill right now. But because Brooke shattered her, Hope is vulnerable. Bill is just sweeping in like a vulture. The writing here is actually brilliant because it is so infuriating. You just want to reach through the screen and shake all of them. So what is Hope going to do? Will she sign it? I honestly don't know. Part of me thinks she is so exhausted and so broken by Brooke's rejection that she might just scribble her name on the dotted line out of pure spite, or just out of sheer exhaustion. She might just surrender to the golden cage because she has nowhere else to go. But another part of me hopes she rips that paper in half and walks away from both Forrester and Logan. Just start her own indie brand in a garage or something. Anything is better than this. She has the talent. She has Deke. She doesn't need Bill's dirty money or Katie's toxic protection. She needs to save herself. What do you guys think? What were they thinking with this storyline? Who actually believes this is going to end well for anyone involved? Let me know your thoughts because my head is just spinning from all this drama. It is messy. It is chaotic, and it is exactly why we can't stop watching. I need a nap after all this. Honestly, I just want Hope to catch a break for 5 minutes. But this is daytime TV, so we know that is never going to happen. See you guys next time.